Whew, sounds ready as hell. Back here with another round. What a week we had in Las Vegas. For those of you who got to follow me on social media, or just follow anybody that was out here, it was ridiculous. It's all done. Floyd Mayweather defeated Conor McGregor in a 10th round TKO. And probably the biggest fight in combat sports history in terms of money making, not in terms of competition. We'll get to that in a second. But we had a lot of people saying a lot of things about this fight. It was a farce. It was a circus. It shouldn't happen. I was one of those people who didn't believe it was going to happen because it's so the personalities involved in the money that needed to be made. But it happened. It came together, and Mayweather stopped him via TKO, basically the same way that I said he would in our last video. You can go back and check that out in the archive. But listen, the reality here is, it's over. Get over it. Whatever you're feeling about Conor McGregor, you don't like the guy, you don't like the guy. But one thing you can't argue is he dared to be great. It's something a lot of fighters don't do. Fighters don't dare to step up and challenge the insurmountable odds. Granted, there's a lot of money on the line. But this was a fight that he didn't have to take or even ask for. But he did. And that's always been Conor McGregor's MO. Which means that regardless of what happened, aside from the first round knockout, he's going to come back demanding a lot more money. He can command that financial windfall. Dana White and UFC say need it. Floyd Mayweather's case, people have said that Floyd Mayweather should have knocked Conor out in the first and second round. You guys don't watch boxing. But to quote the great Roger Mayweather, y'all don't know about boxing. This isn't Floyd's MO. Floyd isn't a big puncher. He was outweighed by about 20 pounds on fight night. His plan was to watch Conor waste his gas tank, see what he has to offer. And then, like I said before, it isn't what Conor throws, it's what he does with what's coming back to him. And as he got exhausted, he had to deal with the flurry of punches. I told you guys, the referee was going to stop the fight. Conor can get away with saying that they stopped it too early, which they didn't, but it doesn't really matter because he didn't go down. Look, you can't blame Floyd for taking this fight. He didn't ask for it. It was given to him. You can't say Conor made a bad account of it for himself because he came out there and fought. He tried. And he did a lot better than other people would. But let's not act like this was competitive. The first 3 rounds were what Floyd usually does. But he surprised a lot of people by marching forward and going toe-to-toe. Why? Because he knows Conor's going to expend his energy and smother his punches. He doesn't understand spacing. That's fine. Conor's still a big puncher, just not as big in 8-ounce boxing gloves. That's fine. But here's my issue. A lot of people who pick Conor to knock out Floyd are all of a sudden talking about a moral victory. Because Conor lasted 10 rounds with the great Floyd Mayweather. You can't predict a knockout and get a moral victory. The only person who gets a moral victory is Conor McGregor because he can't say that he's not going to fight. He came to fight. He came to do what he had to do. But he wasn't going to win. But that's not up to him to say. For the rest of you that think that Floyd Mayweather made a bad account of himself, that Conor is greater than expected should box again, neither of these are true. Conor doesn't need to box again. Although I predicted he probably will. Let's take a look at St. Patrick's Day against a certain guy that he's been having beef with. It could be a good fight. But aside from that, there's no fight with Canelo. Canelo's too big for Conor. There's no fight with Triple G. Triple G's too big for Conor, too big of a puncher. Somebody like Floyd Mayweather, who isn't necessarily dangerous as a puncher, is going to give Conor rounds, and he's going to allow the fight to go as long as he wants it to, and then he took him out like he did. But Conor can go back to the UFC, make a lot of money. The next step is, what does he do next? And I've asked this question many times. He's going to go back to the table, ask for a lot of money, and I predict a fight with Nate Diaz makes a whole lot of sense. Can't necessarily see him fighting Tony Ferguson or Kevin Lee, not because they're not worthy, but because Conor needs to make money, and the UFC definitely needs to make money to pay Conor McGregor. And the only fight that's out there is Nate Diaz. Makes sense. End of the year. As for Floyd, he's not coming back. This is it. I know you could dangle the carrot of a rematch with Conor, but even that won't have the same enthusiasm behind it as this one. This was a spectacle. This was a circus. Let's just be honest here. It was never really a fight. The end was never really in doubt, but it sure as hell was fun to watch. And you can blame Floyd for that as much as you can blame Conor, because Floyd came to fight. For once, he didn't necessarily need the shoulder roll. If you remember, he didn't use it at all in this fight. He came forward. He forced Conor to fight until he expended his energy, which was the blueprint made by Nate Diaz. And then, when he was exhausted, took him apart. It's boxing 101. He took him to school. But it was a fight. It was a fun fight. Now it's over. Now we gotta look ahead to the future. Floyd's going to cash out his $300 million. Connor's going to take his $100 million and ponder his next decision. And boxing fans, we get Canelo and Triple G. So if you were crying about this fight, you didn't have to watch it. In a few weeks, you'll get the most competitive fight in boxing right now on a major stage between Canelo and Triple G. But until then, relax. It's over. Stop bickering. This isn't boxing versus MMA anymore. This was a spectacle. This was a great, fun night for everybody that was involved. But if you expected anything other than with the outcome that you saw, you got duped. Until next time, it's Andreas here.